Just go ahead and do a little bit of a live, just to cover some of the processes that it takes to benchmark this heating element. We're using the 1100 watt microwave today. We've already done a 10-minute cycle. I figured I'd show this because I'm starting to see some actually good results for the first 10 minutes. So just so I can set this down here, what we have and what we're benchmarking is the brick style element, which is inside of the large crucible here. If we get a reading on the outside, we kind of always have to do a reading. The outside temperature is around 160 degrees ish Fahrenheit, while the inside, on the other hand, is closer to the 270. So just so that you can kind of take a look at what that looks like. Let me get my gloves. Generally, when I'm doing this, I'm doing a 10-minute burst in the microwave, and we're measuring a few things. We're measuring the ramp rate at which this element can go, and the maximum temperature. So get a good look in that. This is the brick style element, and it is about yay thick and buried just about quarter-inch or so into the ballast. So I get a measurement on this after I take it out of that, and we're going to record those and compare that against to some of the other elements. This is another example of an element, one of my first earlier standalone iterations. These elements are alumina based, and they have an internal core of silicon carbide. So that acts as a heat collector into the microwave, which gives us the effect of heating up and doing all the stuff that we want to do with our metal sintering. So let me close this back up, but I will get a temperature reading just so I know the ambient of this again, kind of where I'm baselining. Yeah, so I've had this out of the microwave for a little bit now, and taking the lid off cools it off. It's also a chilly night here, potential freeze, which is a rare event for where I live. So anyway, now that this is in, let me raise you guys up a little bit, and I'll kind of show you the process. If you've ever worked a microwave oven, you'll be very familiar with this process. But also, one thing you'll note that in here I do cool the microwave because the temperatures on the outside can get quite hot. Not as hot as the inside, but definitely want to keep that cool. One of the big things that you fight when you're doing something like this versus the traditional kiln, which is down to the right there, is that you do want to cool this hardware down. So I keep a battery operated fan off to the side here, blowing down, and in between cycles I also cool this off. So let me go ahead and put this in for another 10-minute burst. Also, one thing to note, when we put these in here, I do slightly rotate a little bit the spindle that holds the glass tray there. I remove that so that it doesn't melt. And again, you only have a few factors which you can adjust on a microwave. So you have things like power level and time. In this case, on this microwave, we're only working on the high, but on the rotary knobs here, as you can see, there's low up to high. This is a 900 watt. This is a 600 watt, and we can use these for the various steps: debinding, sintering, steels or other materials may benefit from the other power levels. And I won't bore you too long. I just want to show while this is going. We start her up, and now that it's started, there's no sort of sparks or danger or anything like that with these elements. even though they are, conducting that heat there, the crucible keeps all of that sort of insulated, and it's just like running a regular microwave. I have this here set. I'm doing tests for probably the next 30 minutes to an hour. This particular element is important because it is 25% more content silicon carbide than the prior brick element. So you'd expect that to increase the temperature to some degree. What I'm seeing, at least in the first run, is that it's actually just 25% quicker at ramping and seems to have a 25% higher temperature at the early stages. So maybe there's a one-to-one correlation between the content, and hopefully that should make it easier to scale. So anyway, that's it. All I wanted to show. Like I said, I'll be doing this here for the next 30 minutes or an hour and posting results when I have them. So that's it for the live, and I'll catch you guys later on the channel. All right, cheers.